Hello and welcome to Chilli review. Here's Dominic for a new review of Midway 2019. Well, I was expecting a boring CGI fest, and I loved it so much that we went see it a second time. And you know, if you go see the critiques on Rotten Tomato, who the fuck is right? Who the fuck is wrong? That's a question we have to ask ourselves now. Like, you cannot follow critics anymore. Everybody is in love with this movie. And seriously, if you missed that one at the movie theater, you really missed something. I was on the edge of my seat. It's intense. You feel in the action. Yes, the movie has a lot of CGI. Okay, you see it behind me right now. Like, it's a lot of CGI, right? But it's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. I love the colors. They're so vibrant. There's like a yellow filter. And you see that? Look at this. It's so beautiful. And the artists that made all this possible, my hat to them. And sometimes it's so beautiful that you forget that it's CGI. The story, well, we all know it. There was Port Harbor, and then after that there was the war in Midway. The movie shows you both sides of the stories, not just the American. And again, Patrick Wilson in this movie plays beautifully and masterfully intelligence officer that's trying to do the best moves. He's trying to be diplomatic with what's happening. Fucking love this guy. He played in The Conjuring, in Hard Candy. This guy, he can play anything. Seriously, he always look good on the screen. He's one of my favorite actors for sure. And you see the events of 4 years before Pearl Harbor. First scene, they show you like a conversation between one of the Japanese head officer. He's saying, "Don't corner us." There's a lot of things that happened before Pearl Harbor happened. It wasn't just like that. Like, you know, like there's many reasons that build up to this, and this movie, it's doing it briefly, but at least it's showing you like, okay, there was something. And that's very important, because in most, like, you know, big budget movies, like usually they show the Americans. The Americans are great, they're heroes, and the others are the bad guys. Vietnamese are the bad guys, and you know, it's always like this, you know. And Afghanistan is the bad guys, and the others are always the bad guys, and the Americans are always the good guys. But in this movie, you actually see both sides of the story a little bit. During the entirety of the movie, you will follow the leaders of the Japanese army as well, and you will see how they strategize and what they think and when they go through their highs and lows, you know. And this movie is really truthful to that. It's not only truthful to that, but it's also truthful to the events, to what these men went through during this war and during this battle. The soundtrack is following these events so masterfully. The soundtrack is one of the best soundtrack I've heard in a long time. If you saw my other reviews before of let's say Terminator Dark Fate, of Dr. Sleep, I mentioned the soundtracks being a bit like, you know, boring or a bit standard. The soundtrack of Battle of Midway is exactly what I'm looking for when I'm going to watch a movie. I want to hear something out of the ordinary. I want to hear something that's really will strike a chord with my feelings. In many action scenes of the movie, you will hear sounds of actual like plane blades that are like so modified, and they use the blades as actual notes in the music, and it's very scary. And you're on seriously, the whole movie I was like this. And the second time it was the same thing. It's very intense, especially when they're diving to like drop the bombs. It looks so impossible, you know, like you have all these explosions in the sky, you see all the planes crashing and exploding, and it's so scary because you're with them and you feel like, oh shit, one bullet, one explosion, the plane, as soon as the plane has fire, you know, you're done. You know your life is done. And they're diving towards, and you feel that it's complicated. You need to like have a certain like angle that looks almost impossible, and you have the back pilot that's like telling you like how far away you are from the target. The soundtrack in the back is like using these blade sounds, you know, these modified blade sounds that are like it's so intense. Like I'm telling you, you're just talking about it, I have the fucking shivers, you know. You have an all-star cast supporting a great movie from intense events. This movie just shows you so many angles, literally, as much as the soldiers, the head officers on both sides. Being a pilot in these, a US pilot or a Japanese pilot in these battles must have been one of the most intense experience a human being can go through. It's a movie that you must watch. It's, to me, it's one of the best movie of this year. We went and watched it twice at the movie theater. It was emotional. Soundtrack, one of the best soundtrack I've heard. An all-star cast. Even the small characters are fleshed out. Every character starts somewhere and ends somewhere. And it's, you know, great movies from past eras like Terminator 2 or whatever. Like, you know, these movies are great and we talk about these movies so highly because something you can notice is that in these movies, all the characters always start somewhere, go through something, and they end somewhere. And that's what this movie does. It's so great. And for that reason, my rating for this review is a golden chili. Oh yeah, baby. It's the first golden chili I'm giving on this channel. I will watch this movie again and again. Probably 10 more times when it comes out on Blu-ray. It was that good. Just for the soundtrack, the CGI, the all-star cast. Everything is perfect. I loved it from start to finish. Midway 2019 was a great experience. On that note, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you are interested, you can go watch my other review of Dr. Sleep and Terminator Dark Fate. Until the next review, I wish you a beautiful day, beautiful night, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and all these things. I will be back soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye.